Hello, this is Ed with DFG Hosting, DFG Design, Evolution Extreme, CSS Junkies, and iNet Resource. Today we're just going to go over how to export and import large databases using BigDump. I have already made a tutorial on how to do this. However, I have also had a lot of questions because of the latest version of PHPMyAdmin and the new template. So let's get started. First thing we're going to need is BigDump. And what this will do is allow you to import large databases that are, large. Um, a lot of hosts have database um, upload limits set at, some of them are 2 megabytes, some of them are at 5, some are at 10, some are nice enough to have them set at 50. But in the case that you don't have one that your limit is higher than what your database is, you're going to have trouble importing the database. So we're going to use BigDump to do that. The other part of this is, in order to use BigDump, you have to back up your database a certain way. So we're going to show you how to do that. There's two different versions of PHPMyAdmin floating around out there that, as far as the template mostly, we'll go over that here in just a second. This is actually what the BigDump looks like. Basically, when the database is connected, it'll actually just say start. It's pretty simple. So we'll just get out of here for just a minute. What we do need to do is go over here, and we're going to download a backup of our database. I back up a lot of databases. I move websites daily, from server to server, from localhost to live server, and vice versa. I import and export databases 99% of the time the exact same way. And I will just show you how I do it. In this version and template style of PHPMyAdmin, it's really nice, it's clean. I like this style better. This is what the old PHPMyAdmin looks like, and it is just a little bit different as far as when you export. So it had confused some people, so I just want to make sure that I clear those problems up. What we want to do is select our database, and this is the one we're going to export. This is an IPB database, and we'll just click on export, and we want the custom. We want to select all the tables. For the output, we can leave this the same, but as far as the compression, you can either download it as just a text file, or it's like a text file, but it's a .sql file, or you can zip it or gzip it. I normally do mine as none. Under the format specific options, the only thing I really want in here is to make sure that I get the structure and the data. The rest of this I just leave it alone. Under the object creation options, I do turn off, I make sure that the add drop table is off. I make sure that the add creation or add create procedure is off, and under create table options, I turn off the if not exists. I leave on the auto increment and the rest of this. Under the dump options, the only thing I want to change here in this case is just to neither of the above. I just want it to be very basic. And I just click go. And save the file, and we'll let that download. Next thing we need to do is go into our localhost where we're going to import the database. And when I go in here, I'm going to create a database, and I'm just going to call it SQL import, and I'll just click create. Now once we're in the SQL import database, I need to go over to operations, and the reason why is because if you look at these tables over here, let me go back over here to structure, you'll notice that my collation is UTF-8. So I just want to make sure, just to save myself some trouble later on, I want to go into my database before I import anything, click on operations, And then under collation, I want to change this to UTF-8 General CI so it matches. Just click go. And we're good there. The next thing we need to do is make sure that we have our file. And it does appear to be here. So what we want to do is copy this file or move it. And this is my local server on this side. And this is the SQL tutorial. And this is my BigDump file. What we'll do is we'll just drag this over here so it's in the same folder as the BigDump file. And I don't really need to mess with this database file. What I do need to do is I need to go in and I need to edit the BigDump so it connects to the database that we're working with. And so what we'll do is just open up an editor. If I can find my editor here. And I want to open BigDump. Now, up towards the top here, it's actually just database configuration. The database server, in my case, is localhost. The database name is just the SQL import. And the database username is root for this one and root for the password. The only other thing you need to do is add the file name. And the file name is the same as what it's just this. This is what we're going to put in there. You can copy that if you want to. And then you can just type it in there, and that would be fine as well. Make it a lot less complicated. If you do have the file on a different location, that's fine. This just makes it easy for the tutorial. And then we just want to save this file. And now, when we go to our BigDump page, and we'll just refresh, now we have the start import. And all we need to do is click start. Give it just a second to get started there, and then you will see it slowly upload your database. It does take a little while, depending on how big the database is. In this case, I think it's like 26 megabytes, which is perfectly fine. I have had to import 500 and 900 megabyte databases before using the same importer. So I do know that it works well. I have never had a problem with it, except with vBulletin databases, which that I'll go over in another tutorial. Once it's done, you're good. It'll let you know that it's assuming that it's okay, and that's fine. We can go back over here and we can just make sure that our database is here and it's intact. And you can, of course, you can compare it with the other one. If I was actually moving a whole site, I would be able to verify it that way. But in this case, I'll just verify that, you know, maybe I have the same size here, 24.1. And we'll check this one over here, and this one over here is 24.1. So we'll just assume that we're all on the same page and we're good. Now, because the other database tutorial will be removed, the one I've done previously, I'll go ahead and just, in case you have this version of PHPMyAdmin, in order to export this one, it's a lot easier. Just go into your database, it'll come up, just select all. Under structure, just make sure drop table and if not exists is unchecked. Under data, make sure everything is unchecked, but you do want data checked. That is pretty much everything you need to do in this version here. Just click Save File. Again, you can save it as none, zip, gzipped, or whatever, and just click Go. And it will grab your database, and that's it. There's really nothing else to it. You can import it if you want to. Here's the new file, the new database that we just downloaded. So I hope everyone follows along. If you have any questions, you can contact me at any of the sites I've listed, any of these sites. So, hope everyone has a good day. Thank you.